All right, welcome everybody. This is the KubeVirt community meeting, July 15th, 2020. We're talking about looks good to me and approve, and I'll turn it over to Daniel with an answer for that.
Yeah, so the question was from Eddie. The question was, let's say that someone reviews a PR and approves it, not by just commenting LGTM, but by actually approving the PR through the GitHub internal system. So then, if the reviewer realizes that he no longer wants to approve this PR for several different reasons, how we can disable it. So we can write LGTM cancel and it will remove the LGTM label, but it will not remove the vote from GitHub. And yes, you're right. But what we need to understand here is that we are actually not using the GitHub system in KubeVirt. You can, for example, request for changes on the GitHub system, but add LGTM label manually, and if it will be approved, our bot will merge it regardless. It will just ignores the GitHub, the actual state of the PR on GitHub's system. So what I can propose to maybe solve it is we can add maybe a changes requested label. And then instead of, like, you can add, if you request changes, you can set this label. And maybe we can configure the bot to see that this label is not set on the pull requests. So we need LGTM, we need approved label, and we need that it will check that the changes requested label is not there.
But what does it solve? Honestly, I don't see the problem that is going to be solved with that.
So that, yes, there are. I think that what Daniel just proposed, I don't think it will solve my problem, because my problem is that I don't want to say that I want the changes, but I would just want to remove my approval. But and the fact that you said that GitHub is not participating, that is correct. But GitHub, that this is what I tried to say earlier. I'm using that just for because if you use only the LGTM, for example, and even if you use the approve label, you don't know who did it. So which is strange. Like if two people are LGTMing, that you want to see who did it, but you will not. Why? Because I do care who act this PR. Maybe the
but then you can just look at the comments, right?
Yes.
The LGTM is at the comments.
Yes, but I want to see it in front. What I need to, I will need to go all over all the comments or try to find it.
I don't understand why it matters who set the label, because there is a group of reviewers and any one of them can set the label and the vote between them is equal. It doesn't matter if you set it or I did. It just doesn't matter.
Yes, but if okay, I will give you the scenario. Let's say that I personally writing PRs and I want 2 LGTMs because I want 2 people to review my code. Okay, I don't have a way to do it like now, right? I cannot check. As let's say we have a maintainer. That maintainer wants to approve PRs only if 2 people LGTM it. They cannot do it now, right now, because
they can't, because this is not the process of the project.
No, but
the process does not support it. Yes, sorry that I'm interrupting, but the process does not allow it, because this is not the project that the process that the project follows. If someone wants to request something which is not the standard code review process of KubeVirt, it's okay. So you can ask 10 people to review it, but the system needs ACK from just one of them. The others can just add +1 on the PR, I think. And I don't see a problem with that.
Yeah,
But
to back up what Daniel's saying, I don't think we need a formalized process to require, like, to deviate from the process we already have. If you want more than one person to review it, that's great. By all means, but do that at the human level, not let's
Yes,
not bend the system to something it wasn't designed for.
yes,
but by
this is
the way,
what
I
I
am
want.
not
This is
sorry.
I want exactly that, but this is what I'm saying. I
I
can
am
I cannot see it. That's the problem.
I am not arguing, by the way, the need or the lack of need for two reviewers. I'm just saying that for now, this is the process that the project works with, and therefore the automation enforces just this process. I don't think that automation needs to support something that is not the regular process of the project. If,
Maybe
for example, we will decide that we want two LGTMs and one approval,
so,
we will need to adjust the automation.
so I'm not claiming, and I don't want really. I don't want to have any automation here. I just want visibility. I thought that I wanted to just see who approved the PR without scrolling all the comments. And that GitHub is giving me that easily. But I thought that if I always approve using GitHub, then and it automatically adds the LGTM for me, then it's good and it makes sense. It even does the opposite. If I request the changes through GitHub, it will remove the LGTM also automatically. So all of this is fine. And I'm just saying that I like to use this in order to see who are the approvers and who added the neck and so on, without
So,
scrolling for the comments. So the problem that I encountered, I think today or yesterday, was that I'm just unable to dismiss my own review vote in GitHub. I can dismiss it with LGTM cancel, but not in the GitHub. So if it's not possible and no one has ideas, so fine. I'm just asking, not I
I
don't
think
ask.
that it is the limitation of the pro GitHub bot, and I can understand why, because it doesn't really track who added the label, and in GitHub you can't really track who added the label. And let's say that you added the LGTM, so but through GitHub, right? Not by commenting. And after that, I also added the LGTM label. And as you said already, LGTM's labels doesn't stack. So there is still only one LGTM on the PR. But then you decide to go and remove your approval through GitHub. So the GitHub bot can't really remove the LGTM label because of that, because it have no way to know if you set the LGTM label and it removes your vote or it removes my vote.
Actually, so this is interesting. The scenario that you give, it will remove the LGTM of yours as well. So
No,
if
it will remove if you request changes.
yes,
Okay,
I
it is
cannot
okay.
remove the approve. I
Okay,
cannot.
break. I'm not sure we're reaching a productive conclusion to this conversation. So I motion
I
to
got
table
an
it.
answer. Yes, I did. I got an answer that it's not possible based on, so it's okay.
Okay, thank you. Petr Horacek, you have a note for LGTM approved strikes again. Is that what we were talking about, or is that something else?
No, it's a little different. Thanks,
Okay.
Q. So, like 2 weeks ago, we had a conversation, and I don't think there was like any decision at the end about the malicious combination of LGTM and approve at the same time. And the biggest concern for me is that it uh, prevents people that were involved in the reviews of a PR from like raising their voice before it gets in. They commented on it, some time passed, the differences were made on the PR, and then it just goes straight in. So I shamelessly and cheekily called it out today on GitHub because I saw it happening, and it's fine. I mean, it happens. So if nobody is against it, I want to call it out again that we should just LGTM, give it a time to rest and approve if there is nobody raising their concerns about the PR. If it makes sense and everybody's fine with that.
Or maybe the other way around. If you
I
can
think the
approve.
other way around, honestly. I think we should be doing approve first because LGTM is the one that's actually removed when you make changes.
Okay, one or the other. I don't really care about like this automation process. What I care about is that like all the people that were involved, they won't feel hurt if they don't have this last option to call out.
Okay, well, thanks for the reminder.
Sorry, Stu. I was in the discussion a couple of weeks ago, and I think that after a few minutes, the agreement was that LGTM approved comes last, because the danger, the discussion 2 weeks ago was that the moment you added approve, the PR is approved, and if at some point there is an LGT, I mean, then there are some changes, and then someone applies an LGTM, the change will go in, even if the original approver has not had the chance to review the new changes. That was the reasoning a couple of weeks ago, if I remember correctly.
Okay, so LGTM first, because as you're doing the review process, that can be removed. But approve
is last, because once there is an approve, any LGTM will, imply a merge. The other way around is not true. I think an LGTM does not, you still need an approve. And if there are changes, this affects LGTM, but it doesn't affect approval.
I think it only feels natural, and like our /ops GitHub process, that's like the /approve, is basically clicking the large green button, merge this, right? And that logically comes last. We really need to document that says 1, 2, 3. This is how we do it. As much as it's maybe tedious. Yeah, so that's all I wanted to say.
All right, thank you. Any other thoughts on that subject? All right, anything else that we want to raise for the agenda and notes section today before moving to the open floor?
I think one other thing I'd like to add to the LGTM approve thing. I confess guilty. I was the one who was triggering this today. And in my opinion, it was we had a couple of reviews already, and there weren't any changes, notable changes anymore. And I just thought that it could go in now. Yeah, but of course, maybe we should still give other people the chance. But due to the fact that we are short of reviewers and high on PRs, I just decided to do this. I promise I will never do this again.
No, I mean, if it was only rebase and the diff wasn't like actual change, like the common sense should win. And like, I don't want more LGTMs then, because you're the approver that manually, you look on it with your own eyes and see, okay, no change since the last LGTM, it can go in. That's totally right.
Okay. And next subject, turn it over to user 97 Amaranth K. Talk about Community Bridge.
Yeah, actually, I just added this to the open floor because I was forwarding this from the Slack channel. He just asked, and nobody answered, and I myself couldn't answer. Also, I'm not aware of how our plans are for a community bridge program. So maybe someone else can answer this here, and I can just forward then to the user back probably the answer of that.
Well, that user is present, by the way, here in this meeting.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
All right. Well, unfortunately, could you explain to me what the Community Bridge program is?
Okay, so like I was going I recently started programming Go, and like I'm looking for good Go projects to contribute to. By looking at it, I came across Community Bridge. So basically, it's a project by Linux Foundation, just like Google Summer of Code, but it's by Linux Foundation and CNCF. So KubeVirt was listed over there as one of the projects, but the applications aren't open for the August session.
Well, I mean, I guess by asking what that was, I've already given you an answer about what my awareness is. We should consider doing this, though. That sounds like something that would be worthy. Is there a deadline or a cutoff that you're aware of?
No, I'm not aware of any cutoff. No, like I can share the link once again, but like I think your KubeVirt is already a part of this.
Yes, we're currently running, we're minting 2 mentees for the previous iteration of the project. I'm not sure if any of them is here right now, but to be honest, we didn't talk about the August session because we actually are still running with the mentees that we have right now. I don't know, maybe.
Okay, yeah, thank you.
Well, outside of the project itself, of course, we're always willing to help new contributors. One of the easier ways to get started would be to look for the help wanted or the good first project labels. That is what it's called. I'd have to.
I think it's good first issue, right? Could be.
Issue, that's it. Yep. Yeah, we do use those labels from time to time. So anything marked as that would definitely be low-hanging fruit worth investigating.
Okay, yeah, I will check these kind of issues out.
Awesome. Welcome, by the way.
Yeah.
All right. Is there anything else anybody would like to raise today? Okay. Thank you, everybody. See you next week.
Thanks all. Have a good one. Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.